Hi guys, welcome back to Cozy Corner. Here's my fuzzy friend. He's going to sit on my lap and watch and listen while we read. Okay, so last time we left off, we had been introduced to Jacob, who bought himself a TV family that didn't work out so well. We were introduced to Olivia, who saved all her money for college. Very smart decision. We also met Classroom 13, who vowed revenge on all of the students because it didn't get any money. We were introduced to Ava, who spent all of her money on an island, and then the island sunk when there was the volcano. And then we met Tio, who bought himself a theme park, but it burned down because of all the fireworks. And now we are on chapter 16. Ready? Here we go. Remember how you thought I made a mistake back on page 12? Well, I didn't. The teacher, Miss Lynda, won $28 billion. That is 28,000,000,000,000. She agreed to split it evenly with each of her students, 27 in total, minus one, Santiago, who was sick that day. That means 26 students. If you add Miss Lynda, that's 27 people total. So $28 billion divided by 27 is $1,037,037,037.04. At the end of chapter 2, I said, later that day, 25 students walked out of class with a check for over $1 billion. $1,037,037,037.04 each, to be exact. Go on, flip back to page 12 and check. I did. See? I'm telling the truth. I'm honest Lee. Did you notice there were 26 students who won the lottery in the class, but only 25 students left that day? Why is that? Simple. One of the students never left. You see, Earl lives in the classroom. Earl is a hamster. During the first week of school, Ms. Lynda counted her students. She had 26 in total, but all the kids insisted that the class pet, Earl the Hamster, was also a student. Miss Lynda did not like arguing with her students, so she agreed. Earl became a student of Classroom 13 that day. But how did Earl get the money? Well, he signed the contract, of course. You see, Liam was something of a prankster, meaning he loved to pull pranks. And when he signed the contract for the lottery winnings, he thought he'd be funny and have Earl sign it too. He colored the hamster's paw with a black marker and stamped it on the contract. When it came time for everyone to collect their winnings, Liam explained it to Miss Lynda. Well, if Earl signed the contract, then he's entitled to his share too. After all, I am a woman of my word, she said. So yes, Earl received a check for $1,037,037,037.04. What did he do with it? He shredded up with his cute little paws. Then he peed on it. Chapter 17. Mark. Mark was the most handsome student in class 13, and all the girls had a crush on him. But he only had eyes for one woman. Wonder Woman. Well, more specifically, Lynda Carter, the actress who played Wonder Woman in the 1970s TV show. I remember that show. I watched it. When he was little, he dreamed of guest starring on the show and becoming friends with Lynda. So when he won his lottery winnings, he knew exactly what he was going to do with his money. He would make his dream come true. Mark hired a group of the world's best brilliant scientists, recommended to him by Triple J. Then he explained, I want you to build me a time machine so I can go back in time to the 1970s. That is immoral, one scientist said. It's dangerous, said another. You could destroy the fabric of all space and time, said a third. Mark threw his money at them. All of it. Every dime. The scientists suddenly changed their mind. What a fantastic idea, one scientist said. A brilliant use of money, said another. Let's get started, said a third. So this group of scientists worked night and day for weeks until they had finally built a real lifetime machine. It'll only work twice, the scientist warned. Once to get there and once to come back. Got it? Got it, Mark said. He hopped inside and pushed the button. The whole world outside turned into bright light. The machine shook so hard, Mark thought his brains were going to pop out of his ears. Instead, the time machine popped out on the set of Wonder Woman. "Who are you?" asked the director. "I'm a time traveler from the future. I came back in time to see if I could be a guest star on the Wonder Woman TV show." "Are you SAG?" the director asked. "What's SAG?" Mark asked. "That's the Screen Actors Guild," the director said. "You can't be on TV unless you're part of the labor union." Mark slapped himself in the face. He should have done a little bit more research before coming all the way back in time. He was so bummed. He wandered toward the time machine, kicking rocks as he went. "Why the frown, kid?" someone asked. Mark turned around. "Lynda Carter!" "That's me," she smiled with her perfect smile. Mark suddenly didn't care about being on TV anymore. He had finally met his big crush. He explained everything that had happened, and then he and Lynda had a good laugh about it. She even taught him to do her Wonder Woman spin. Afterward, she autographed a black and white picture for him. She signed it, "To my favorite time traveler, love, Lynda." When Mark came home, back to the present day, he didn't have any more money, but he was the happiest boy in Classroom 13. Chapter 18, Maia and Madison. Maia and Madison felt twice as lucky as everyone else in Classroom 13. This was because they were twins. These twins had two of everything: two matching beds, two matching toothbrushes, two matching unicycles, and yes, two matching checks for $1,037,037,037.04. Some of the kids wondered if the sisters would combine their lottery winnings for a whopping total of $2,074,074,074.08. That would make them twice as rich as everyone else. Oh, sorry, by the way. There are the twins. But the twins didn't want to keep the money. They wanted to spend it. As they almost always did, Maia and Madison had the exact same thought at the exact same moment. "We should each buy two of everything and put it on a boat," Maia and Madison said at the same time, "like Noah's Ark." "But if we each buy two of the same thing, then we'll have four of everything, which is weird because we're not quadruplets," Madison said. "Ew, quadruplets are weird," Maia said. "Well, if we each buy one of something, then together we'll have two of everything." Maia and Madison smiled at the exact same time and said, "Then we'll have twice as much stuff as everybody else." The Ark of Stuff plan was a go. Maia and Madison shopped until they dropped. Well, at least until their feet hurt. The girls went on a shopping spree, buying two of everything they'd ever wanted. They bought two sequined pantsuits, two bedazzled cell phones, two glittered swimming pools, two emerald-crusted backpacks, two diamond-covered bicycles, two opal hula hoops, two golden trampolines, and so on. If there was anything shiny and expensive, they had two of it. Then, using their father's top-secret military connections, the girls bought two aircraft carriers and had all their high-priced items flown there in helicopters. The twins wanted to show off their spendings, so they planned a huge party on the ships and invited all their classmates from Classroom 13. Unfortunately, before the celebration, their ships were so heavy, they sank. Because they were twins, Maia and Madison felt twice as sad about their loss. Chapter 19, Dev. Dev's whole life revolved around video games. He'd go to sleep playing his PlayStation and move over to the Xbox when he woke up. On his way to school, he played his portable Nintendo. He also had over 100 games on his phone for playing in between and sometimes during bathroom breaks. "Are you pooping or playing video games in there?" his dad would yell at the bathroom door. "Both," Dev answered. So when Dev got his check for over $1 billion, he knew what he wanted: to level up to virtual reality. His thumbs were getting tired of all the button mashing anyway. A store-bought VR system was not going to cut it for Dev. He wanted to live his life inside the most sophisticated virtual reality world money could buy. So he found the greatest video game designers in the world and hired them. I want to live in a video game world, Dev said. For how long? One game designer asked. Forever, Dev said. But what about sleeping or eating? Another game designer asked. Or, going number one or, number two? I'll be doing everything in this game world, Dev said. Then he handed his check over to the game designers. Now get coding. The game designers worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to finish Dev's virtual world in just 1 month. Many nights they skipped sleeping to make Dev's deadline. To meet his demands, they skipped over some tiny details, but they could always add stuff later. Are you done yet? Dev snapped. Not quite, the designer said. We need to add a save function. Don't bother, Dave said. I'm never leaving this game. Dev stepped into the VR suit and turned on his new world. He couldn't believe his eyes. The virtual reality was so crisp and so clear. It was like being in the real world, only way better because it wasn't real. In VR, Dev could fly like Superman. He could build castles with a wave of his virtual glove. He could fight monsters, drive race cars and rockets, and shoot up killer robots. He could even nap on a virtual cloud. And when he had used the restroom, well, he just went wherever. The VR suit took care of everything. All that stuff. Dev's VR was everything he could ever dream of and more. He ate virtual pizzas, rode virtual roller coasters, went on virtual quests, and met virtual friends from his favorite video games. In his game, there was no school and no chores and no nagging parents. And best of all, every day was an adventure. Out of nowhere, Dev could sorta hear someone yelling from back in the real world. He didn't want to deal with it, whatever it was. He wanted to play his game. With his glove, Dev turned up the volume. Now all he could hear was the cool techno music of his latest mission. Suddenly, the virtual world around him vanished. There was nothing but black in every direction until a blinking red light appeared overhead. Big capital letters appeared in the VR. No save file found. Progress lost. Dev removed his VR goggles, returning to the real world. He was ready to shout at the VR game programmers. Instead, he screamed. He was surrounded by electrical sparks and a small fire. Whoosh! The programmer sprayed him and the VR suit down with fire extinguishers. What happened? Dev cried. Sorry, little dude. One of the programmers said the system overheated and caught fire. But the game is okay, right? The VR programmers shook their head. Dev sighed. It was officially game over for Dev's virtual world. Now he was stuck in reality like the rest of the people on the planet. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to continue with chapter 20 and still meet some more students in the class. There's a lot of students in this class. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.